Hello, this week we are going to review something that we got for baby number 2 that we didn't have for baby number 1 and we have loved this time around.
So true. This is the Doona Car Seat and Stroller.
Yep, and just in case it's your first time meeting us, I'm Kurt. I'm a board-certified pediatrician, pediatric cardiologist, dad to a toddler and a 4-month-old.
I'm Sarah. I am a board-certified OBGYN, fertility specialist, and have been a stay-at-home mom for the last 4 months. So I have some tricks for wrangling 2 under 2. We're going to talk about that right after this. Again, if it's your first time meeting us,
I'm Kurt.
I'm Sarah.
And
we are the Doctors Bjorkman. So this is something I get asked about almost every time we are out and about.
Yep, and that is, how do you like your Doona?
Yeah, so we did not have a Doona stroller for our first baby. I thought it was unnecessary, very expensive, and Cease, our daughter, quickly made it known that she hated her car seat.
Yeah.
And so any extra time in a car seat structure was going to be a no for that kid.
Yeah, she absolutely just didn't
Yeah,
like it.
no.
And so we quickly kind of switched her to
A
convertible car seat, kind of as early as she could fit safely in the brand we got. And you can actually check out our review for that in a previous video we've done.
Yep. So after having baby number 2, I was trying to figure out how I could get out of the house with this little tiny baby and an almost 2-year-old toddler and my sanity. Still working on the sanity part, but the rest we can almost manage sometimes. But what I found was that carrying an infant car seat on my arm while trying to wrangle toddler like that's darting about in a parking lot safely was really, really tough. And our infant car seat was very, very light, but it's bulky. Sometimes the toddler wanted to be carried or again is trying to run into traffic. And so I wanted to see if there was some helpful option out there. We had been looking at the Doona and thinking about it and finally said, let's try it.
Yeah. So now, in case you've never heard of the Doona, it is a car seat / stroller combo.
Yeah.
And per the website, quote, Doona is the world's first complete and fully integrated travel system, allowing you to move from car seat to stroller in seconds. The innovative design allows you to navigate the streets at ease without disturbing your sleeping child when hopping in a car, traveling by bus, or walking up the stairs. The revolutionary car seat and stroller provides a safe and practical solution for parents on the go. Now, just to say, we are not sponsored by Doona.
No.
They didn't even give us a car seat to try for free. We paid for this one full sticker price.
We didn't actually, but we'll also get to that.
Oh, okay, great.
But needless to say, that sounds very intriguing and promising, right? And then I had this trip coming up where we had to travel on a plane, so I thought this all sounded like a good idea and could justify this purchase. Because this could be turned into a car seat where you don't have to have the base, and also turned into a stroller. So great for travel. We decided to purchase one, which leads me to my first tip. The Doona is very expensive. It retails new for $550. If you get this midnight edition, aka all black, it's $650.
Did we get midnight black?
No,
Oh, great. Okay.
no.
Wonderful.
So that was all more than we wanted to spend on extra baby gear, especially like we have a car seat, we have a stroller. So my tip here is I found a gently used one on Facebook Marketplace. And you can really find them on Marketplace kind of from anywhere between $280 and $350. So not cheap, but like significantly more affordable.
Now, the recommendation on reusing infant car seats is to make sure they are not expired.
Right.
Car seats do have an expiration date. You can check those.
Yep.
For instance, we actually just sold one of the car seats we bought new to someone else, and it had a
Had
7-year lifespan.
that
And so we
infant
checked the
car
date,
seat
and
she
so they were
hated.
going to get 5 years out of, which is great. But check the date, check the expiration date.
Yep.
Usually printed on the car seat itself.
Yep.
And the other biggest thing is the weight range too. All car seats have like a weight range and which time they will outgrow them. And so again, making sure that is like within the weight of your baby, that your baby is safely positioned. And then of course, if there isn't any like massive damage to it, like making sure all the straps are intact and there hasn't been any damage to a car seat from a prior potential accident.
Yeah. The nice thing about the Doona is that I think the outgrow weight they recommend is 35 pounds. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But babies outgrow them generally before they are expiring. So it is possible, again, to find a safe, gently used Doona because the kids outgrow them before they expire.
Yeah. Which is a pleasant surprise to me to find out that we paid half price for ours because we have loved it. And we are most certainly using ours a lot because our toddler loves to push it around. She also likes to be carried, which is nice because you can hold your toddler in one arm and push the Doona with the other.
Yes. So let's talk about the stroller itself and some of the specifications and other safety considerations.
So the Doona is pretty neat because with one motion, it takes only about a few times to figure this out. It morphs from car seat into stroller in seconds.
Yeah, and we can show that, some clips of that at the park.
Has a 5-point harness, which is standard for most car seats, and an adjustable handlebar that can act as an anti-rebound bar inside the car, which we'll show you. It also has a foot brake, sunshade, and pretty sturdy wheels. We use it off-road occasionally across the park or down some trails, but does great sidewalks, parking lots, etc.
Yep. All of the cloth that's on the car seat is removable and washable. It does come with an infant insert and a head support. And important to know, this car seat is always rear facing. And again, website says it is suitable for infants up to 35 pounds and 32 inches tall.
Our toddler, who is 2 and 35 pounds, is definitely too big for this car seat. She does like to get in it and stroll around when her brother's being carried in a wrap and we have the Doona around, but definitely is not a forever car seat. It is not going to give you the longevity that a convertible will, but we have loved it for this infant stage.
Right. So, other important things about this, it's TUV and FAA aircraft approved for travel and has a 2 years manufacturer's warranty. So it also has this dual functionality as a stroller and a car seat, and so it's been tested to meet both the US and European standards for car seats and strollers and handheld carriers. So it has passed the most rigorous safety tests. It is a safe car seat as well.
Yeah. Something else we've loved about the Doona is we found the install of the base. It's really easy,
Very easy.
And you can use it without a base also. So like if we're like putting it in the vehicle that we drive often, it just clicks in, clicks out. But if like say for instance someone else, like if the opposite one of us has to pick them up from someplace on the way home,
you can just strap it in without a base.
Any car, it like belts in with the seat buckle belt. A little more cumbersome of a system, just like getting around the wheels for the shoulder strap is a little tricky, but doable in a pinch, very easy. Like even if you were traveling using Uber, this is a great option.
Yeah, totally. The thing about this one though is you might not be throwing this car seat around too much. It weighs 17 pounds. So once you put a baby in this car seat, it is not light.
Yep, it is definitely like more cumbersome. Like, and we were coming from like we had the lightest car seat on the market before this, so we went from a 5-pound car seat to something literally 3 times as heavy. Which was quite something. And then you throw our baby in there, we've got 30 pounds, and it's just a little unwieldy. For me, it's like this is not easy. For Sarah, her like calves are bruised up from bumping into her leg, and so it just like is a little bit different, but we still think it's worth it so far. So with all of that, let's talk a little bit about what we love about it, things we don't love so much, and if we would buy it again.
So I love that it is easy. I don't have to like take the baby out of a car seat to put in a stroller, or if he falls asleep in the car, I don't have to, you just literally just pick a car seat up, drop the wheels down, and you are ready to go. And that is super convenient. It's nice to not wake the sleeping baby or have to do any kind of transferring. I also really do feel a lot safer with him in this ready to go, because basically I can take him out of the car, drop the wheels, roll him around, lock him there while I get his sister out of the car, and then I have her hang onto the car seat with me, onto the stroller, and we push them together into wherever we're going or to the park or to whatever. And she feels contained and safe. And I'm not trying to like carry a car seat and carry her or hold her hand. It's just, it is really convenient.
And it makes the transition from car to like out of the car that much quicker.
So fast.
Especially when you've got a temperamental 2-year-old that
right.
like...
And this little tiny baby that can't hold his head up, you know, it's not like you're just popping a tiny infant out and putting him on your hip and off you go. Like he was so little and so fragile. And so it was just, it's easy. It's really easy.
Yep, it is so easy. Just in the car, out of the car, and just bam, he's in a contained stroller. You're ready to go.
Yep. And the other thing I like is if we ever had to travel, you could take it on an airplane. You could put it in a taxi. We wouldn't have to take a separate stroller. It is pretty convenient.
But with that, what are the things we don't like about it?
So the thing I hate, which isn't as much of an issue for Kurt, is that it is heavy. It weighs 17 pounds, and then you throw my 15-pound baby in it, and it is a big lift to get it up into our vehicle. The solution here is to kind of just roll it as much as possible. Like don't carry it around. Drop the wheels, push it wherever you need to go. Then the only time you're really lifting it is when you're putting it into the car. The biggest downside to this car seat is that it's heavy. If we didn't have like 10 stairs to get in and out of our house, it might be less of a burden, but it is heavy.
I would say another disadvantage to this, just like in terms of having a stroller, is that it doesn't have any storage in it. There are accessories you can buy, like a clip-on bag, or like putting clips on the handlebars, etc. Both of these have to be removed to put it in the car. There's no drink holder, and things that like we really love about like our stroller we had for Cease. And so like you do have that disadvantage because it is a convertible stroller to car seat. You miss out on some of the kind of storage space you would have with something that is just a stroller.
Yeah. Kurt also hates that the sunshade, like you pull this sunshade out, you know, over them, it kind of hits the handlebar when you pull it over, and it drives Kurt nuts. He's like, why isn't this just a little bit taller?
Yeah.
But it is very flexible and like gets through it. But
3/8 of an inch would make all the difference in terms of the handle.
But he loves the thing.
Which comes down to the like, would we make the investment again? Which I just learned we paid half price. Awesome. If you can do that, by all means, like save your dollars where you can. Like our gently used Doona is great to me as it would have been had it been brand new. And so for that, absolutely we would buy it for number 2 again, especially given that we have a toddler that we're also trying to wrangle.
Yeah, it's made it possible for me to feel like more comfortable getting out of the house with both kids and feel safer about it. I still probably would say you don't need it for baby number 1, or, you know, again, there's just no storage and no whatever. So with one kiddo, and when it's much more doable to not.
So one like other like little negative about it is like it is so easy to go from the car seat to in the stroller mode that like it's tempting to just leave him in it a lot. And that's something that we consciously just have to make mental notes. So like, hey, we have to get him out here. Like baby development means that they're on a clean mat on the ground playing. They're working on their core strength. Like not always being in the container. It is not a safe place to sleep. And so like not a place to just leave them to sleep. Like of course, like while you're traveling, if they fall asleep while you're pushing around, being observed, it's fine. But like safe sleep again is not in a car seat.
Correct. So it's very easy to just, you know, leave him in his little bucket. Whereas, you know,
our first didn't love her car seat at all, so we never had to worry about leaving it in. So she like, we got home and was like, can we get her out of the car seat faster so that she would be happier? So anyway.
So that's the Doona. We overall really love it. Would get it again. It's safe. I shared all the specs with you here. If you have any, my biggest rec is find one used and do some weightlifting to get ready to lug it around. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. We're doctors.
But not your doctors.
Anything we've said in this video is for education or entertainment purposes only.
It is not medical advice.
Any specific medical questions you have should be directed to your provider.